She's been one of those players, too, that has evolved over the course of her career. I think of her as being a player usually that's 1v1, but she's been so good this year being provider, spreading out the pitch, knowing when to be direct. Casey! Becomes so much more intelligent.
Ashlyn Harris back in goal for Orlando. She was out for 11 matches, dealing with a quadriceps strain.
And it's not just her ability to shot stop and goal that is important for this Orlando side. It's her leadership capabilities and qualities. I mean, when we spoke to her this week, it was all about organizing that back line, getting them clued in those transition moments, and helping the younger players know how to navigate and manage a match when they are leading or when they're behind.
One of the most veteran and experienced goalkeepers in this league on the other side, Nicole Barnhart, for FC Kansas City, the NWSL's all-time saves and shutout leader. Kansas City wearing blue on their home field. Orlando coming in with white and powder blue on the other side. Exciting to see this matchup, Allie. Which of these teams is going to give first? They've both been in great form.
They have. I mean, I tip my hat to this Orlando side. I think of all the teams in the league right now, they're hitting their form at the right time, and they just look so dynamic attacking. And defensively, they had struggled a bit throughout the year, but I mean, 2 shutouts in their last 3 games bodes well for them.
Sydney Leroux, one of the key attacking components for the Blues. Alex Morgan on the other side. Those two coming up through the U.S. national team ranks about the same time.
Competing for the same spot at times, playing with each other at times, trying to set each other up. It's such a fun, dynamic relationship to watch evolve over the years.
Becky Sauerbrunn will loft it forward. Yael Averbuch back there at center in this match as well, next to Sauerbrunn. Missed her first match of the season in the last one, a win at Chicago for FC Kansas City. There is Averbuch.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because this FC Kansas City team has sat back against a lot of opponents and, yes, try to play out, but they've been successful on the break. And you wonder, how much are they going to push the tempo of this game today? It's hot out there, they're on their home field, and they need a result. So do they leave themselves open, or do they sit back and really stick to their game plan?
Yeah, if you watched Kansas City last week, as Leroux gets onto this ball, hits it inside, a chance early, but Ashlyn Harris snags it away from Katie Bowen.
And that's really smart defending there by Edmonds. I mean, she's a player that's been a utility player for this Orlando side, played in the center of the park. Now she's playing in that right back position. Very smart decision just to head that back into Ashlyn's hands.
Bowen won it back for a moment. Now it's Morgan. Lana Kennedy out of the reach of her Australian national team teammate, Steph Catley. But Kansas City really weathered the storm in Chicago last weekend. Were dominated statistically in most categories: shots, corners, crosses, possession. But they put 7 of their 9 shots on frame, and they managed to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Jen. They were dominated, but doesn't matter. And that's what I said to Dallin in the pregame. If this team finds themselves in the playoffs, it's because they've been taking their chances well.
Nice touch from Averbuch. Now Becca Moros looking for Leroux, and Krieger will leave it for Harris.
Kansas City's really pressing in. You can see, trying to see if Orlando can solve it. And they force the air.
This is Christina Gibbons. Shot easily handled by Harris.
I wasn't sure early on how this surface would play, being that it was soaked underwater just a few days ago, and it does look a little heavy out there.
Yeah, we showed you in the pregame show earlier in the week, this field completely underwater. But you and I were out there before the game. It's definitely dry now. Just see how it plays throughout the match.
This is just the bite that you see out of Labonta. That was one of the reasons that Vlatko put her in the starting lineup, to bring that defensive ability. She gets in early there on Weatherholt.
Lo Labonta, the 5'2" midfielder out of Stanford. Sauerbrunn forced to clear. Kansas City defense was struggling for a little while, but seems to have put together some much better performances here in their 3-game winning streak. There was a foul before that clearance, so Orlando, a very dangerous spot here for an early free kick.
Especially with the crafty players on it, with Marta and Camilla. One can take it right, the other can take it left. That's Marta, capable of lining that up with the left. I've seen plenty of her goals in my day on these set pieces.
And Kansas City has done a nice job so far of keeping number 10 in white away from the ball. Now they give her a prime opportunity if she chooses to take it.
Stay tight, Mo. Stay tight, Mo.
It will be Marta right on, almost on target, I should say, bending just wide of the post.
And this one almost looked like it was gonna nip in that near corner there, fading away from goal. Barnhart sees it late. She's just trying to go up and over that wall. That is poor right there by number 11, Scott, ducking away from that. She's got to head that out, take it for the team. Your wall is there to stop that exact ball.
You must be brave if placed in the wall there and facing one such as Marta.
Trust me, when the coach calls out your name, tell you you're going to be in the wall, it's not a smile you'll see on many faces.
There is a whistle, foul in the middle of the field. Will give Orlando the ball. Camilla has moved all around for this Orlando team this season. She's been in the back, she's been out wide, midfield. Tom Sermani really liking her interplay with both Marta and Alex Morgan.
And you can talk about building chemistry, but sometimes it's just there.
There's Camilla, had it for a moment, had it taken away. Good step in from Catley. Edmonds. Kristen Edmonds trying to make a run, well covered as Bowen dropped back defensively. Catley taking her time. Kennedy will be the one to serve it. Marta, the only one in the vicinity. Labonta.
And just good ball movement from both these sides. Patient attack, trying to probe, solve pressure. And then right on cue, the direct ball out of the back.
Here is Chioma Ubogagu. Camilla. Back to Ubogagu was the idea. Sauerbrunn breaking it up.
And look, if LaRue's gonna go, her team's gotta go with her. It's a half-hearted press right now.
Some better collective pressure here as Orlando just having trouble getting it clear and to another player in a white jersey.
I mean, I think Kansas City thus far, I mean, it's early in the match, but they've done a great job of not allowing Orlando into that space in front of their back line. They're pressing those deep mids of Weatherholt and Kennedy in the center of the park and just struggling to solve it, whether it be on the flank or centrally.
Desiree Scott to Labonta. Marta charging in. What an excellent article there was in the Players Tribune, written by Marta, if you saw it this week. The letter to her 14-year-old self, and her story is incredible. Do not take for granted the type of player you see on the field. It did not come easy to a young lady who desperately wanted to play soccer in a country that really did not support females playing soccer when she was coming up through the ranks.
It takes a special person to rise above the way she did, and it just reminds us how spoiled we are here in the U.S. for the most part.
Told herself to get on the bus, to leave her hometown, go to a bigger city to try to play on a team. Moros looking central for Labonta. Here's Christina Gibbons, the rookie out of Duke University that started in the back line, has moved into the midfield for Vlatko Andonovski. Shea Groom did not play the last match against Orlando due to suspension. We are at Children's Mercy Victory Field at Swope Soccer Park in Kansas City, Missouri. Jen Hildreth, Olympic gold medalist Allie Wagner, Dallin Cuff, and our entire NWSL on Lifetime crew here in Kansas City for the very first time. And what a great time it is to see this team that, boy, just a couple of weeks ago you might have given up for dead, but 3-game winning streak can do wonders, and now the Blues have those playoffs in their sights. It is possible.
And on the front foot in this game initially. I mean, that last attack from Kansas City was brilliant. Switched the point of attack, got in on that flank with Shea Groom. We talked about again in the beginning of the pregame where this team is a bunch of intelligent players. Vlatko prides himself on making smarter players regardless of the outcome. Now, that's hard to do in a professional game when results matter, but he's managing to do it, and you see these teams get better as the season progresses for that reason alone.
As an organization, FC Kansas City is the only NWSL team to have won 2 league championships. They won it in 2014, 2015, more of a down year last season. Tied for 6th at the end of the year. Looked it was going to be the same way this year, but this team said they just kept on believing. Had to absorb the loss of Amy Rodriguez in that first game due to an ACL injury. And really are making life uncomfortable out on this field for Orlando these first 10 minutes and change.
And that's really one of the first touches that Alex Morgan has seen. I've been just kind of watching her movement and not a ton out of her yet. It looks like she's picking and choosing her moments of when she's going to be explosive, when she's going to present herself to feet. But Marta looked up and she wants to play her the ball. Sometimes you see that in these pairings, that there's a relationship where they want to find each other because they know they make each other better.
We've seen those two link up several times over the last few weeks. Brittany Taylor, long-time NWSL player and member of FC Kansas City. Found Groom. Ball looks to be moving rather slowly on this field, doesn't it?
It really does, and I'm also watching the width of the attack for Orlando. They're very narrow right now, making it easier for Kansas City to shift and get in their respective defensive positions. That's part of the problem sometimes with Marta. When she's playing on the right, she filters in towards her, to the inside, to her left peg. But it's also one of the brilliance of playing her out there because she can cut inside on that left.
Moros finds Labonta. Though Labonta seems to always be presenting herself in the right spot in these early minutes. Sauerbrunn wants to send it toward Labonta, headed down in the area. Groom couldn't do much with it. Moros, LaRue flicked it with her head.
And it's just extremely tight offensively and defensively from Orlando. They're keeping a lot of numbers centrally. Kansas City's going to want to go around the flank more often than not.
Ubogagu will keep this ball in play. Morgan. Maybe a little quick on the trigger.
Yeah, just one player in the box on that initial service. Obviously not a great ball in.
Alex Morgan, 6 goals in the last 4 games for Orlando. Had both of them in the Pride's win last week over Boston.
And usually I think of her as being one of the opportunistic goal scorers in the league, but she's been creating. I mean, with her movement, with the chemistry with her and Marta.
Kennedy. Now Catley. There is Morgan. What will she do against 3 defenders? How about a corner kick?
And that's the right decision from Morgan there to try to get around the edge of Becky Sauerbund. You can just see they're using the flank on that left
On the other side with that left foot. Kansas City living dangerously here. A chance for Orlando is blocked. Another one to Bogagu! Has Orlando on the board.
Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. Lovely ball curled in the right spot. It's not dealt with too poorly, but it's that second ball that becomes so dangerous. As it's reserved in the box, you head it right down at the top of the 18. You're just asking for trouble, and then Ubogagu slips on that back shoulder, gets a gift landing right at her feet. Look at her pull away there. She's just ready for this and bounces on that, but sends it far post against the momentum of Barnhart, who's trying to cover her near post.
3rd goal of the season for Chioma Ubogagu.
And sometimes when things are going well, you get moments like that.
Well, when you give up 3 corner kicks in quick succession, you're putting yourself in a dangerous spot already. And give Marta a chance to serve it up, especially on that left side.
Oh, you're exactly right. And the poor clearance on that second ball played in. You just can't head it down towards the top of the 18. You're always taught as the attacking players to organize in those spaces, and they make the most of it. And this is really going to change the dynamics of the game, because not only is it going to be an injection of confidence, you'd think, for Orlando, but now Kansas City is really going to have to open themselves up because they do need these results. This is a home game as they hit that final stretch in the season.
Orlando 8-1-3 on the season when scoring first. And as Alex Morgan and Marta have started to find their stride, that was the first goal for Ubogagu since June 28th. Scoreless in her last 8. So you know, as a goal scorer, nothing does wonders for your confidence like finding the back of the net.
And it's only going to continue to strike fear in everyone else around the league, because if other players start lifting the load, you can't just key in on a Marta, on an Alex Morgan, on a Camilla. And this Orlando side is stacked. I mean, we don't even talk about Weatherholt and Kennedy in the center of the park holding it down, playing simple balls just to connect their team. There's so many layers to this team that is well-rounded and explosive.
And while it will be players like Morgan and Marta that get most of the headlines, you talk to anybody on this Orlando team, they say one of the big differences here lately is the cohesiveness of the whole group, that there have been so many different players involved.
And it just looks that way when you watch them play. They want to share the ball. They want to get each other involved.
11 different goal scorers on this team. That was something Ashlyn Harris talked to us about as being a big difference. She said there was a time where we might play a long ball and it was good luck Marta, good luck Morgan, and now a little more
not always
soccer.
The worst strategy, but
right, but she knew with the personnel they could do better, and they've proven that. Turnover this time by Orlando puts Taylor and Kansas City in possession. Brittany Taylor leads the Blues in crosses, sent one in there.
It's such a good ball out of the back by Elle there.
Scott to Labonta. Taylor trying to get it to Groom. Foul. And they're going to say it's against Kansas City and Shea Groom.
And she can't believe it. This ball's played into her feet. She's trying to spin, but she's got that arm up around Ali Krieger's neck. And that's the reason for the call there. She just shoves her down. Initially, very good play from both of them, trying to body each other up, but it's that extended arm that gets her.
Groom trying to help take it away. Couldn't quite get there. Seattle-Portland also underway. The Cascadia rivalry, no score between those two teams who are both in the playoff hunt. Seattle just outside that top four with 27 points, 2 behind both Chicago and Orlando. Portland's been playing very well, 34 points, sitting in second behind North Carolina.
And I just think the way the standings are now is the way it's going to end up at the end of the season, with the top 4 teams as they are now, Orlando included in that, are going to be the 4 playoff contenders.
Tom Sermani would certainly like that result. Head man for the Orlando Pride. His team, as I mentioned, currently tied with Chicago in points. North Carolina in first, up 5 at the moment over Portland. And then Chicago and Orlando. Those are your top 4 at the moment. Orlando, of course, will be the site of the NWSL Championship game. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. Top 2 seeds will host. Ubogagu had the first goal of the game, had it taken away that time. Nice step in. Camilla. Ubogagu trying to get it out of traffic. Moros there to greet Alex Morgan. Marta. Catley, so often an option on that left side.
Kansas City lucky to get away with that one there as LaRue passed it straight to Marta. Initially doing a nice job trying to solve that pressure, but that turnover.
Catley on it again for Ubogagu. Has Morgan short. Morgan just not quite in sync that time with her teammates. Catley trying to catch up to it. Weatherholt applying some pressure to Bowen, and she'll commit the foul.
And credit to Weatherholt and Kennedy for being the ones that usually stop the transition. You can just see her on the back of Bowen. Bowen doing a nice job shielding it, protecting it, not allowing Weatherholt to win it there.
Talked about the standings. Kansas City with 23 points right now. That's what their last 9 points in their 3 straight wins have gotten them to. Sitting at 6 points outside the playoffs at the moment. That's why this home game's so crucial. Edmonds will have to play this. And eventually, Marta coming to help what looked to be a ball just going out of bounds. Scott reading it, taking the shot. Needs to do better than that to challenge Ashlyn Harris.
And both teams doing an excellent job solving the initial pressure, but it's that second wave that is catching them. Got to be someone in the center of the park who gets that head up and switches it. You need a longer pass just to relieve that second wave.
Tide seems to have turned a bit with that Chioma Ubogagu goal in the 16th minute.
It was definitely against the run of play. And now Orlando on the front foot.
Kennedy wants to play back to Harris. Told us her long ball distribution is probably the last part to come back. Can't fully strike the ball yet. That quad injury really threw her for a loop. Hadn't been through anything like that. So LaRue's off target.
And lucky for Orlando, they don't have to lump it forward. They have the quality in the back to be able to play out. And I liked what Harris said. I mean, she said, I want my players to be able to solve that pressure. That's the expectation at this level. And I don't mind putting them in these situations as she just did.
Dallin Cuff down on the sideline has more on Ashlyn Harris. Dallin?
Thanks, Jen. Down here in the field, you can actually hear Ashlyn consistently talking to her back line. As soon as the ball gets above into the attacking third for KC, she's in constant communication with the back line, being that leader that she told us about this week and coming back into this team, national team level player that's showing it right now in leadership and her ability on the field.
That's so important for a goalkeeper, isn't it, Allie?
It's massive, and it instills confidence in your back line. You know that she sees the whole game from back there, and so you just know you're all tied in when she gives you those instructions.
And let's give some credit to Aubrey Bledsoe, too, who came in place of Ashlyn Harris for those 11 matches when she was out and really did a fine job for the team. But it may be that leadership aspect that Harris brings from playing at the highest level that is one of those intangibles.
And this last attack from Kansas City, again, I mean, going down the heart of Orlando, and they're organized and tight centrally. I think the better bet is to use the flank spaces right now against Orlando. It's not to say they can't get in centrally, but it's very tight, and the timing is going to have to be exactly right.
6 fouls early in this match for Kansas City, compared to just 1 for Orlando.
I think it's so interesting that they're one of the more physical teams in the league, that they have 3 red cards. I just wouldn't have thought of that when I look at this roster and the quality that they have.
Morgan turning toward the goal, touching it forward to Marta Taylor. Dicey game to play there, but Barnhart does come out to get it.
And Alex Morgan, one of the few times she's had some space today, tries to lay that into the path of Marta, overcooks it. Barnhart well off her line, reading that in behind. And good recovery there from the FC Kansas City players to see that one out, or into their goalkeeper's hands, I should say.
There is Barnhart, the 35-year-old goalkeeper, former member of the United States national team, had 54 appearances in her time with the team.
Just get a look at this 50-50 challenge. Looks like Labonta clips her from behind.
Orlando players up and moving on the sideline.
And it's a why not, because they can't have any shade sitting on the bench, so might as well stay loose.
There is not much shade to be found here, as I'm sure Dallin would attest, down on the sideline with everybody. None of the benches in shade. Some of the stands are, though, so the fans are happy. Good crowd on hand here to see this match. And you see the benches. Somebody should bring an umbrella. Catley. Not quite sure where she was going with that one.
No, just a miscommunication there.
Groom. Weatherholt disrupting her flow. Kennedy so composed in the center of the field. Discipline is what you'll hear Tom Sermanni talk about from his central players, what he really wants. Ubogagu. Offside.
And that last attack from Orlando, it's Alex Morgan who's pulling back into the midfield. She's the one who sets play, and you can see Marta is just trying to establish some sort of pressure on that back line. Ubogagu offside. But that's what happens with this Orlando team. There's a lot of layers, a lot of counter movement that makes it very difficult to defend. When Morgan pulls in the midfield, a lot of times it might be Camila, it might be Marta, but someone's got to establish pressure on that back line to be a threat, and behind, Otherwise, the other opponent can just close you down and make the field smaller vertically.
Haverbush, bouncing ball for LaRue. Offside flag up against Sydney LaRue.
Offside to offside, one for both teams here. And she's just sitting nicely between those center backs. Hard to tell from that angle.
We do have our first hydration break here in Kansas City, so we will take a break as well. Orlando leading KC 1-0. Vlatko Andonovski's FC Kansas City team trailing Orlando 1-0 after our first hydration break. Chioma Bogagu's goal in the 16th minute, the difference so far. And Dallin Cuff listening in to Vlatko during that break. What'd you hear?
Hey, Jen, Vlatko's message really is about their press. Early on in this game, we saw that press that KC had have some effect on Orlando and really didn't let them get comfortable. As the half wore on, he felt they backed off their pressure. He really challenged Scott, Labonta, and Gibbons in the midfield to close up that space. He feels like there's too many gaps and space in the midfield, allowing Orlando to get on the ball and turn and be comfortable once they get that press higher and make them uncomfortable.
Great stuff, Dallin. Thank you. It is Labonta. Bowen in the corner now. We did see that in the early minutes. A much more effective press from Kansas City as Orlando was trying to figure things out. Here's Taylor. Bowen, former North Carolina Tar Heel. Beautiful ball in the area. LaRue had a couple of good looks at it.
And I must have jinxed them because I said they've been taking their opportunities well to get them to this point, but this is a sitter that Sydney LaRue is going to want to have back. Poor touch. I'm not sure if she's trying to collect that or play it back across Ashlyn Harris, but it's certainly a mistouch. At least they get a corner kick out of it.
First of the match for Kansas City. What a ball from Bowen.
So good. Driven right on the ground. Two players could have made a play on it.
Yael Averbuch to take it for KC. Headed back into the area. Bogagu trying to get it out of there and start the charge for Orlando. Moros right there behind her to get it back to Kansas City. Averbuch. Outside of the foot pass for Bowen. Averbuch, when she can get into an advanced position, has the ability to deliver a great ball. Free kick specialist we've seen over the years in the NWSL.
I mean, one of her strengths is her ability to hit that final ball. She was a center mid before she was transitioned to the center back position. That one doesn't make its way over, but yeah, so capable of spraying the ball around the park. She's just got that sense and the technical ability to match it.
Tickets to the NWSL Championship game are currently on sale. The price is starting at just $20. The championship will be held at the Orlando City Stadium on Saturday, October 14th, and will be broadcast live right here on Lifetime with a kickoff time to be announced a little bit later. For more information, log on to nwslchampionship.com. Hope you can join us down in Orlando for that match.
And if the playoffs are anything like they were last year, you're in for a treat if you show up.
Every match of the postseason needing extra time. Penalty kicks deciding the final. Yes, it was about as dramatic as it could get. Western New York Flash winning the championship over the Washington Spirit a year ago. And Western New York Flash relocating to North Carolina this season. The Courage looking good at the top of the table. But interesting note, the regular season champion in the NWSL has never won the championship. Morgan with the takeaway.
Well, in fairness, the league hasn't been around all that long, so you think that's bound to change at some point.
This the 5th year of this league, longest running women's professional soccer league in the United States. Camilla couldn't get out of that trap, as had Kansas City players sandwiching her. We've talked about the standings, Orlando up there in the top 4. Reminder that the top 4 teams make it to the postseason in the National Women's Soccer League. Courage on top, 5 points ahead of Portland, who's in action at the moment against Seattle. And pretty tight. Seattle, Sky Blue FC, FC Kansas City, Houston, all those teams. Only still legitimate fighting chances. Tougher seasons for Boston and Washington. Both of those teams pending results could be eliminated this weekend. Marta showing Bowen exactly what she felt was being done to her.
And a little smile because she knows this is not okay, this is not good. I don't know, any other player might get carded on that.
Well,
is that the Marta effect?
I mean, she had a smile on her face, and yet you can't go put your hands on a player after a stoppage like that.
I mean, the push though.
She was just trying to explain in case her Portuguese wasn't coming through to Bowen about what she felt is being done to her.
International language, I suppose. I don't know where you're playing the game, but that's a foul. That's a card.
Marta's such an expressive player, but I think you might be right. A little bit of the
I like
Marta
that,
effect taking
expressive,
place.
yes.
Yeah, well, I think that's fair. Morgan still looking to get going in this match. She has really been in form down the stretch here for Orlando. Scored in each of the last 4 games. Long ball up ahead, LaRue. Tempting, but headed down nicely and collected by Harris.
Well, not a bad look to soften up this Orlando team, but if you have a wide shot of that, you get to see that the Orlando team is dropping off as that ball served. They dealt with it extremely well, just headed that back into Ashlyn Harris' path.
You talked about it in the pregame that stopping the bleeding in transition was maybe one of the main concerns for Tom Sermanni, and he feels his team has done much better with that.
And a part of that success has been because of Monica's presence in the back line, the calmness she brings, but it's also being switched on. He said that the players, they would work offensively to get in the right positions, but defensively they'd relax because their team was enjoying the ball, and it was about being wary of where the threat could potentially come from, and you're just seeing an evolution in this group defensively, or so it seems.
Marta to Camilla, 2 Brazilians hooking up. Now Edmonds. Now to Abogagu. She and Marta have switched the moment.
And they do that in the flow of play often. Marta was centrally about 20 minutes ago.
Look at the work from Sydney LaRue. Now she needs some help, and she knows it. Labonta, what a touch! Sydney LaRue, she'll take the shot now, and Harris stretches a glove out to get it.
I mean, this is all Sydney LaRue. initially just getting in behind, but she was the one who held up the play, played Labonta, then reestablished width to allow her to get in behind, and then
another chance here for Kansas City, and they've scored. Labonta, the equalizer.
I still go back to Sydney Leroux getting credit for this goal because she's the one who set the tone, allowed them to play out, got in behind, forced Orlando into their own half, and then Labonta sneaks in behind. We can see this ball, it looks like it's curled in from Shea Groom, and then just the one-time volley to size that up, turn on it, and keep it low underneath Harris. That's a brilliant finish, brilliant ball in behind, and it looks like it goes right through Harris's legs.
First NWSL goal of Lo Labonta's career ties this match in the 42nd minute.
And just the quick play when it was over on that flank caught Orlando sleeping. Still go back to Sydney Leroux setting all of that up.
No question. Sydney Leroux, 5 goals, 1 assist on the season, and when she gets on the scoreboard, this Kansas City team is unbeaten, 5-0. Groom.
Looks like a little 1v1 exercise out there.
Eventually she lays it off to Sauerbrunn. Didn't have much of anywhere to go with it. Coming up at halftime, Dallin will have NWSL news and some great highlights from last week, plus Allie and I will break down this first half. 1-1 our score. Chioma Bogugu scoring in the 16th minute for Orlando. Kansas City finding some fire here in the last 5 minutes or so.
And Ashlyn Harris, when we spoke to her this week, said it was going to be a good game to watch because both teams like to play, and we're seeing that. I mean, the ebbs and flow of this match, who's being on the front foot, who's controlling possession, it has switched back and forth. And now sitting level, we'll see how this changes the complexion.
Pressure on the Kansas City team a little bit more as they are on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs.
Absolutely, and anytime you go on the road, you just look to pick up any sort of points, whether it be 1 or 3.
Just 4 matches remaining for FC Kansas City after this one. We are in single digits now of the regular season in the NWSL. Comes Groom. Not much question there. Will we get a card from Danielle Chesky? Yes, we will.
And we saw Groom do this the other week, split the Chicago defenders. Here she just flies by Camilla, and Camilla gives her the forearm shiver from behind. That's a dangerous foul, sends her flying.
And really unnecessary. I mean, you can commit that foul, break up the play without throwing the forearm afterward if you're Camilla.
Absolutely, you just grab a jersey, pull her that way at least. Obviously trying to give the professional foul, give her team time to get behind the ball, but that was a little malicious.
So Camilla booked. Free kick coming for FC Kansas City. 4 minutes of stoppage time added on to this first half. Get to see what Averbush can do. Kennedy so good in the air, won the first ball. Moros, well done. Sauerbrunn. LaRue! Now Bowen with the shot. Touch falling right to her feet. She'll want that one back.
And Kansas City having some success going direct. LaRue pulls away. You see her bend her run. She gets in behind Edmonds there. And then I'm not sure if that touch was supposed to be a collection for herself, but it winds up being a brilliant ball for Bowen, who tries to have the strike on that near post. Doesn't connect exactly right.
FC Kansas City trying to capitalize on the momentum they have seized really since the hydration break in this first half, resulting in a goal in the 42nd minute by Lo Labonta.
And just going up more up tempo with their possession as well. The balls have more zing on them. They're being a little more direct, a bit more impetus in their play to force this game, to press it.
Camilla just hounding Moros, forcing her to play it back.
And you can hear Tom Sermani yelling to his back line, "You're way too deep." He wants to squeeze the game so they can put pressure and not allow Kansas City to keep raining those balls in behind. I mean, if you're scouting this Kansas City team, you've got to think we don't want Sauerbrunn to play out, and we certainly don't want Yael to play out. We want to maybe make those outside backs be the ones to initiate play. Well, right now, Yael's having a heyday.
Alex Morgan, a quiet first half for Orlando.
I just haven't seen the energy out of her. She looks like she's just kind of weathering the game out a bit until she steps it into that sixth gear. Defensively, offensively, not a lot of change of pace. Marta's looking up going, where is someone? Someone present themselves. A feed option, please. I don't want to send this.
Now she will send it toward Morgan, who got a little bit on it and then just out of the fingertips for a second before Barnhart got it back.
This is all Marta. She ran out of options, so she said, I'm going to take you 1v1 and curl this one in. Morgan slips between the two backs. Barney comes off her line. Almost spills it.
Marta making something dangerous out of that opportunity. When you're right, she really assessed her options. It didn't feel she had much else initially.
And that's the evolution that I see in Marta as a player. Initially, she'd try to go 1v1 instead of look for her teammates. Well, that time in her career at this point, she looks up first, and then if she has to be special, she'll do the special work 1v1.
11 goals, 5 assists on the season for Marta. And now another free kick coming for FC Kansas City.
And Orlando held a high line on the last set piece from this area. Kennedy was the one who got the head to it. Looks like they're gonna hold that same high line and drop as this ball's played in. Bowen's wide open, far post.
Had both hands in the air. Averbush will try to go far post, but too far and out of bounds. 6 career goals for Yael Averbush, all of them coming off set pieces. But she and her FC Kansas City team found a little mojo here as this first half wore on. It resulted in the equalizer in the 42nd minute. And now let's go down to Dallin Cuff, who's with Vlatko Andonovski.
Thanks, Jen. Coach, a critical game for your team. When you look at the table, 3 straight wins, you're playing at home. How would you assess this first half you turned in?
I thought we played a decent game. I think that we're doing a good job in the first 2/3 of the field. We just have to be a little more clinical in the last third and hopefully create a little more opportunities. You know, we scored 1 goal, we created 1 great chance there and a couple of shots. So we'll just keep doing the same thing.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look back at what was a wild week in the NWSL. Sam Kerr, can anybody stop this woman right now? 4 goals. Was she player of the week? Of course she was. But come back and check it out after the break. Back here at halftime between Kansas City and Orlando. Orlando will be hosting the NWSL Championship. The question is, will the Pride be playing in it? We'll find out about that. I'll tell you about this, though. The NWSL Championship tickets are currently on sale, $20 a ticket. The championship will be held at Orlando City Stadium on Saturday, October 14th. We broadcast live on Lifetime. The kickoff time to be announced at a later date. For more information, log on to nwslchampionship.com. Last week was a crazy week in this league, and let's get you caught up. Goal of the week. Who else but Sam Kerr? She's unbelievable. 71st minute, goes 1-on-4 through Seattle's defense, and then curls it in the back of the net. 3rd of her 4 goals. We'll come back to her in a minute. 5-4 come from behind win. Save of the week, Ashlyn Harris back in the lineup for Orlando. Early on, 4th minute, that was huge to keep it 0-0. They go on to get a big road win in Boston. 2-1. Save of the week to Ashlyn Harris. And player of the week, this is obvious. Sam Kerr, 4 goals. Sky Blue was down 3-0 at home. Their coach, Christy Holly, stepped down. Their captain, Christy Pierce, was gone. Kerr put the team on her back and took them all the way to a come-from-behind win. 5-4 is your final on that beautiful header. In stoppage time and celebrate, the Aussies should. 4 goals. She leads the league now with overall goals with 15. Sam Kerr, your player of the week. After the break, though, we are back locked into this KC-Orlando game. Allie and Jen break down the first half and look forward to the second half. Don't go anywhere. NWSL on Lifetime continues.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the National Women's Soccer League and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the National Women's Soccer League.
Two teams coming into this one on 3-match winning streaks, and they are tied after the first 45 minutes between FC Kansas City and Orlando. Jen Hildreth, Allie Wagner, and our entire NWSL on Lifetime crew here in Kansas City. Okay, Allie, so this one really a little bit of a back-and-forth affair that first half.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I think tactically it's been fascinating to watch. I mean, I thought Orlando was going to come out and kind of dominate the match today, but they've been sitting back a little bit, except for a spell in the middle of the half. It's been all KC. KC's been pushing. They've been dictating play. They've had nice possession, but they've been most successful when they've been going direct and getting in behind this Orlando Pride side.
Yeah, Orlando was able to take the lead early, but they had some more chances even before the goal to get on the board.
They did, and these spells were against the run of play. I mean, Marta has a nice wicked left curler there, and Scott in the wall ducks. She's lucky that that one wasn't on frame because that would have snuck in below Barnhart in that near corner. But then Orlando had some opportunities getting around the edge. This was a spell of 2 corner kicks that they found. They were on the back foot initially, but it's that second service that gets you so many times on these set pieces. Sydney Leroux's the one who rises up for Kansas City, heads it down. Not a great clearance, and then Monica plays it in. Bogogu gets the gift to her feet, and she slots that one home. Nice finish for her, and good awareness also to be pulling off that back shoulder of the defender to pounce on that free ball that landed at her feet.
And then we jump to the 42nd minute. FC Kansas City gaining a little momentum.
Yeah, and this was all created off of Sydney Leroux getting in behind. So a one-end mistake, and this end she creates this initially, gets her team in the attacking third, and this wicked ball served in by Groom. And then how about that shot by Labonta? She sneaks between the center backs. Monica's trying to step her off, and she just turns on that cold and laces that below Ashlyn Harris's legs.
First NWSL goal of Lo Labonta's career ties us up at the half. You see the shots fairly even, but FC Kansas City actually out-shooting Orlando. Quite a different story from the last time they met when Orlando won it 4-1 on their home field. So we're looking forward to another tight second half. Will one of these teams be able to continue their winning streak as we head toward the playoffs? Find out when we return on Lifetime. Just moments away from the start of the second half here in Kansas City. Tie game between FC Kansas City and Orlando. And moments ago, Dallin Cuff caught up with Orlando Pride head coach Tom Sermanni.
Tom, you guys seem to be controlling the game midway through the half. After the water break, it seemed to change a little bit. What went wrong in that late in that first half?
I don't know, but we've done that a couple of times after water breaks. We seem to have dropped our tempo, dropped the pace, and we kind of stopped playing, to be honest, and lost a little bit of concentration.
What has to change in the second half?
Well, we need to get back to playing how we did in the first 25 minutes, where we had the confidence to play out from the back, we had the confidence to keep possession under pressure, we had the confidence to switch the ball and to play our passing game. And that's what we seem to lose in that last 10 minutes.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, what'd you think, Allie? Agree as we take a look around the NWSL. Hold that thought. Seattle and Portland. No score between those two teams. More coming up this evening. Washington, Chicago, Sky Blue FC, and Boston coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern. That Washington game important as they will play again midweek against North Carolina, a team who had their game postponed due to Hurricane Harvey in Houston. Hope everyone in the Texas area is doing just fine. Next Saturday, we will continue on Lifetime as midfielder Lindsey Horan and the second place Portland Thorns, who have the best home record in the league, host the Washington Spirit and rookie sensation Mallory Pugh. Coverage for that one begins, as always, at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific, right here live on Lifetime.
I mean, I would agree. I don't know that they controlled the first 25 minutes or so. I thought Kansas City came out strong, but I do think that if they're going to play their passing game, the energy has to be there. There wasn't the movement off the ball to keep it and to really spread apart this Kansas City team. So movement always comes first, and that's what has to change for Orlando, especially up top with Morgan.
Alex Morgan came in on a tear in this match, having scored in the last 4 matches, and it's a 4-match unbeaten streak for the Orlando Pride, one that has seen them get into fine form and tie with the Chicago Red Stars at 29 points in the standings, tied for 3rd.
And it was interesting, I thought perhaps tactically they were just sitting back and not pushing the tempo as much just because of the situation with Kansas City needing to get the result more so perhaps than Orlando does, but it turns out no, that was just them faltering after that water break and them unplugging, and so many times that happens after major stoppages of times, and it's up to your leaders to pick up the tempo.
Often used to seeing Orlando in their purple. They are wearing white and powder blue on the road this afternoon. FC Kansas City, the Blues as they're nicknamed, in blue. Jen Hildreth, Olympic gold medalist Allie Wagner, Dallin Cuff, and our entire NWSL on Lifetime crew here in Kansas City for the first time. And we'll see who grabs a hold of these first few minutes of the second half. Marta, corner kick set up. Orlando's goal in this match that Chioma Bogugu eventually put away.
Looks like she's starting this half on the left side, perhaps looking to give more width to this Orlando team.
Sydney Leroux to the goal scorer, Labonta. Shea Groom couldn't keep it. Groom, by the way, collecting the assist on that Labonta goal, her 5th of the season, as she leads the team in that category.
Such a good ball in.
Morgan looking for a Bogugu.
Much better pressure from Orlando tying in on that. And almost solved by Kansas City. I love to watch those moments when you can see one team step up the pressure. They're flying in. They're trying to lock in Kansas City on this near side. Kansas City tries to bypass that press, just doesn't get enough on it.
Talked about the hurricane adjusting the schedule, affecting that North Carolina-Houston game, which was supposed to be tomorrow, that being postponed. The weather there. Kansas City had some weather earlier in the week. This entire field was underwater. A lot of flooding in the area. Totally dry, thank goodness, and playable this afternoon.
Yeah, but it still does look like a heavy field to me. The way the ball moves, the way the players are moving, it's a bit lethargic and heavy out there.
NWSL on Lifetime, live from Children's Mercy Victory Field in Kansas City, Missouri. The Orlando Pride and FC Kansas City both coming into this match amongst the hottest teams in the league, having won 3 in a row. The only team that can better that, the first place North Carolina Courage, who are on a stretch of 4 straight wins. Marta to Steph Catley. Desiree Scott intercepting.
Strong challenge. I like watching both these sides play. They're really trying to solve it. Saw Orlando try to go down that weak side, come back to this near side.
Marta winning it. Heads it down to Camilla. Now it's Danny Weatherholt, central for Morgan. Pretty congested area. Alana Kennedy, who has found a home in this Orlando midfield for moving up from the back line earlier in the season. Now Edmonds. Morgan was there. It bounces a couple of times, and credit Nicole Barnhart for being on her toes.
And this is really just a hopeful ball that's whipped into Alex Morgan. She's sitting between the 2 center backs, make them guess, but this deflection comes off of Sauerbrunn, it looks like. hard to tell who gets the first touch, whether it is Morgan or not. And no, it's Becky Sauerbrunn the whole way. She almost catches her own goalkeeper off the line.
Those two have had many moments together in the defense for FC Kansas City. Sauerbrunn maybe now 0-1 to her goalkeeper, but Barnhart, the all-time saves leader in this league, punches it out. It will be a corner. Headed down. Catley was around it, as is Weatherholt now. Bogagoo into the arms of Barnhart.
And that initial clearance from Kansas City was knotted down again to that danger area at the top of the 18. Orlando was just unable to make anything of it this time.
Third and final meeting of the season between these two teams. The first one resulted in a draw earlier in the season. That was here on May 7th. Erica Timrak for FC Kansas City had a late equalizer in that one. And then it was a completely dominant performance by Orlando in July. 4-1 win for the last meeting. Much more even this time around.
This game's absolutely been even, and Bogagoo's had some nice spells where she's able to beat the Lions. On that last possession there, she beats the Lions. It's great, she's running at the back line, but then tries to play that direct ball in. She's got Catley pulling wide on towards this near side. Just play simple there.
Monica, that calming force you talked about on the back line for Orlando, plays it back to Ashlyn Harris. Her third match back after missing 11 with injury, and then our assistant referee saying Alex Morgan coming from an offside position. Will be Kansas City ball.
And that's all the back line squeezing the game, recognizing that when that ball was played back, you step up, and they caught Alex Morgan.
Camilla up to Morgan. Marta. Becca Moros stood her up, took it away. Another great step in by Morrow. She leads the charge now for Kansas City. LaRue held up her run. Tantalizingly close there to something special happening for the Blues.
Well played by Moros there. You said it, Jen. Orlando kept trying to go centrally into numbers. Morrow just steps and picks the pocket.
Becca Moros in her first year back with FC Kansas City. Played with Houston last season, but did win an NWSL championship with FC Kansas City in 2015. Ubogagoo has Scott charging behind her, lays it off beautifully for Morgan, who gives it right back, returning the favor. I don't think we saw that type of touch from Ubogagoo earlier in the season. Camilla, half-hearted attempt.
And it wasn't even just the touch, it was the timing of this touch. I mean, this is a great attack right there. That initial ball in by Catley, she one-times it, and then Ubogagoo senses two players closing in on her, the timing to send that back across the momentum, get in behind Alex Morgan, a lovely final ball into her path. But then it's just that whip ball across the top of the box that doesn't connect for Orlando.
Desiree Scott. And Taylor. Brittany Taylor finding Gibbons, the rookie. In the corner, it is won by Catley. Harris trying to pick out Ubogagoo, but Taylor is there. Labonta, what a turn. Groom, and the offside flag does go up.
Here's a look at that last offside. Shea Groom knows it. She was way offside. She hadn't recovered from the previous time she was pressing the back line, and she was shaking her head after that because she knows you got to do that early work, get back on side, then you rest. Lovely little touch from Krieger there to spring Catley.
Catley looking for Morgan, who stuck her hand out and touched the ball. No card?
I just think she's been a bit off today. I mean, that's an odd decision to make as a player. Instincts took over. She put that hand up. Absolutely should be a card for an intentional handball there.
But Allie, doesn't that go against your natural instincts as a soccer player? I mean, I know when you see a ball coming, maybe she realizes it out of her reach, but that's really surprising to see for me from Alex Morgan.
I just think she's been off today. She hasn't seemed to be as clued in as normal with the flow of play, with her decision making. So, you know, sometimes you just have those days. But I don't know. If she doesn't get a card, Marta get a card. Is that the star effect?
Vlatko Andonovski certainly will not be happy about that, and for good reason, you could say. Kennedy to Catley. Abogugu on her outside. Catley will play it back to Kennedy. The Australian connection linking up a couple of times here. Outside of the foot for Kennedy. Abogugu can't turn it around Taylor.
But Catley's been more active on this left side this half.
Labonta trying to hold that ball up for LaRue. Couldn't quite spin it correctly.
No, you're right. She tried to hit that with the outside of her right to bend that into the path of LaRue, but just didn't catch, or actually caught too much of the ball, if you will.
At the moment, this match really, anyone's for the taking, and these 3 points on the line, so crucial, especially for FC Kansas City, trying to move into that top 4, get back to the playoffs, which they missed for the first time in franchise history last season. Orlando trying to stay ahead of Chicago, a team that's lost 3 in a row, but as you said in the pregame show, not a team to count out or hit the panic button yet.
No, I think with their quality, they should be fine, but Jen, as this game plays out, we're gonna see it open up. It has in the past 10 minutes.
Abogugu nearly had a chance as Saberbush slipped. Orlando is still in the attack.
It's just tight centrally. There's so many numbers. It's very compact as both teams try to hit those central balls in. This left side, this left flank with Catley has been more effective for Orlando, and they're using the width on this left side.
Morgan, who wants it? Abogugu wins it. Catley has Marta peeling away from her.
Little 2v2 setup.
Abogugu, the goal scorer for Orlando, finds Morgan, still has it. Couldn't quite make anything out of it there in the end.
No, this was a 2v2. They spring Alex Morgan from it, and then she just uses raw power and speed to get beyond Scott. And then I'm not sure how she doesn't connect on this ball that she wants to whip in.
Almost her right ankle or leg looked like it kind of gave out a little bit there at the end of that run, as she had gotten clear of Scott.
It looked like she just chopped on it. Again, I just think her timing's off today.
Little stoppage now as Desiree Scott down on the field. Morgan back up on her feet.
But overall, it's been nice to see Alex Morgan find her form again. It looks as though she's hit that confidence and that scoring streak and form that she had years ago, a few years ago. We haven't seen it for a while. And sometimes it takes partnerships like she's developing with Marta to start springing her, because she's getting in those 1v1 situations. She's able to get in behind because a lot of the focus isn't necessarily on her for the 90 minutes of the match. And here's the two just battling it out. And really hard to see what happens to Scott there and why Alex Morgan doesn't connect on that.
No score still between Seattle and Portland at the half. Those two teams both looking to break through. Coming up tonight, will the Chicago Red Stars snap out of their funk? They travel to face the Washington Spirit. Sky Blue FC and the incredible Sam Kerr show continues on, hosting Boston. That Houston, North Carolina match, originally scheduled for tomorrow, postponed until a later date. Check for nwslsoccer.com for updates on that one. And then one midweek game, Washington and first place, North Carolina. Remember, you can go to the Go90 app and Go90.com to watch all those games, and nwslsoccer.com for all your news and information surrounding the league.
Orlando's been pretty dominant today on winning those first balls. They've got that size in the center of the park. When you know that, when you're at FC Kansas City coming into that type of environment, you've got to be wary and pick up those second balls if you can't win those initial ones.
Edmonds heading in, serving, but to Barnhart.
Better attack, though, from Orlando, using the flanks. I mean, that's one of the first times we've seen Edmonds get involved in the attack, getting down that right side.
Ubogugu. Scott playing with some tissue stuffed up her nose. Canadian national team player, nicknamed the Enforcer. Little bloody nose not going to keep her off the field. Good work by Scott to keep it. Labonta touching it back for Scott.
It's just so tight for Kansas City to try to play out on this near side.
Morgan trying to quickly touch it to Marta. Now she hits it outside to Ubogugu. Marta directing. Morgan opting to play it to Ubogugu, does well, keeps it. Ubogugu snapped an 8-game scoreless streak with her goal in the 16th minute, but has it taken away. Now Morgan wins it back. Ubogugu still on the ground. And a foul is going to give a free kick to Orlando. Daniel Chesky not liking the response from Taylor after the fact.
This is what I mean about Orlando. If it's not Alex Morgan or Marta getting in behind, Ubogugu's there, and she's the one who, yes, she turns this ball over, but she initially gets them into that attacking third. And then Alex Morgan pounced on that, the ball that was kept in on that near side, and that's how she earned the foul that now they're sitting pretty on.
It was a set piece, a corner kick that led to the first Orlando goal in this match. And it'll be Marta, the 5-time World Player of the Year. Plays it short. Camilla on the ground. Not exactly the way they drew it up. Marta wins it back. Moros, under some pressure, turns it over. Orlando struggled to find its form on the road early in the season, just could not get a win. 0-2-3 in their first 5 road games, but 3-1-1 now in their last 5. Groom couldn't get it through the defense.
When you go back to the initial part of the season, they were dominating a lot of those matches. They just weren't able to put it in the back of the net. They didn't have that firepower up front. Well, they've solved that problem. And Mbogu seems to be developing throughout the season. You've touched on it a little bit, Jen. Smarter decisions, and she's got players around her, pieces around her that can take some of that pressure off. She doesn't have to be the goal scorer.
Marta, remember, made her debut in week 2, so a little late, and then Alex Morgan not coming on until July 1st for this team. Jasmine Spencer, too, has been playing better as of late. She was not available for this match. Picked up a bit of a hamstring injury in the last one.
Well, you're exactly right, and she's an option off the bench usually if she doesn't start the game. So they just have a lot of flying, fast parts, capable of separating, getting them behind, breaking the lines, and it's very difficult to defend. I don't know that we're seeing it in full effect today, but still think this team, if they get into that playoff, is going to be a very challenging prospect for anyone.
Orlando, the second highest scoring team in the league, now 36 goals on the season. They trail only Seattle, who has 37. This is one of the players you said, if you're Orlando, you do not want to play make. Yellow Averbush had plenty of time to serve that ball.
Exactly, Jen, and it's okay, the first one doesn't work out, but they're organized below for that second ball. Labonta picks that up, and now they're just moving up the field. It's kind of a war of attrition. Can you get into that attacking half with more numbers?
Gibbons trying to find Groom. Monica to Krieger. There's some pressure from LaRue and FC Kansas City. Catley looking up. Kennedy, excuse me. Now to Catley. Marta, nothing but blue around her. Scott hits it out.
Orlando's finding some joy between the seams in that last attack. With Kennedy in the deep seam, with Marta in the high seam.
Tough to find space for both teams in the second half. We have a score update from Seattle. 1-0, the Portland Thorns leading Seattle now, thanks to a 50th minute goal from Haley Rasso. Her Australian making her impact felt in this league, along with Sam Kerr, Steph Catley, Alana Kennedy on this Orlando team. How good did Australia look, too, in the Tournament of Nations?
I mean, they've always looked dangerous. I think you go back to the World Cup, and they probably should have beat the U.S. in that group play. Explosive team. I mean, we've seen what Sam Kerr can do single-handedly, and they're loaded. I think they're one, you know, if they can continue to progress for 2019, if they obviously have to qualify.
Substitution coming for Orlando. Kristen Edmonds coming off. Rachel Hill, the rookie out of UConn, will come into the match. Do you anticipate a shift positionally here?
I would expect that perhaps Camilla goes to the back line. We'll see how this shakes out. Camilla's played in that outside back position earlier in the season.
Dallin, you've got more in the substitution for Orlando.
Of course, I just want to confirm that Allie's absolutely right. Tom Sermani immediately pointed to Camilla, told her to go to right back, so she's moving back to that spot. Well done, Wagner.
Oh, Allie loves those kind of reports, Dallin.
I'm going to buy you a muscle milk later, buddy.
We've had a great time with our team on Lifetime this season. Glad you could all join us, celebrating our producer Michael Cohen's birthday all weekend while we're throwing out some love for the crew.
He made sure everyone knew, by the way. Circled it on the calendar, sent out emails, wish list for gifts. Marta
and Morgan. Haven't seen those two link up as we have earlier in the season.
Both these sides are just one pass away from unlocking the other. I mean, they've done a good job solving pressure. As you see here, I mean, there's just a lot of composure on the ball, but now it's switching the point, getting out of these flank spaces.
Sauerbrunn stepping in and winning it. Kennedy to Marta. Sauerbrunn right there behind Alex Morgan. Just wanted it more.
And was prepared for it. She read it all the way.
Morgan got it back though. Found number 10. Here's Marta, that left foot service. Cleared by Averbush, but right back to Marta. Another service brought down by Morgan, the shot, but right to Barnhart.
And Marta's sized up with two defenders out on her. That's Scott, and then you've got cover and Brittany Taylor coming over, and she says, I'm just gonna whip this in. She pings that off of Alex Morgan's chest. She's in that near post gap and just brings it down. It's a nice touch by Morgan. She's falling away from it. Tries to whip that back on frame, just doesn't get enough on it.
Love that touch though, as you said, from Morgan. Set herself up beautifully, but then
that ball came in hot.
It did. And injured player down on the field for FC Kansas City.
I'm not sure if it's Bowen with those red boots.
It is Katie Bowen. Such an eye for detail, Ms. Wagner.
I'm a mom, you've got to see everything.
Katie Bowen, the New Zealand international, played collegiately at the University of North Carolina, second-year player for FC Kansas City. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened to her.
Oh, and it looks like when Alex Morgan's doubling back, her knee goes into the solar plex. That'll take your breath away.
Vlatko and Donofsky out to check things out. He's ready to make a substitution. I know you have liked the play of this young lady, Megan Kelly.
I have. I mean, I wanted to even ask Vlatko why she hasn't seen more time, because she has been explosive, and I just like her sense when she gets in and around the 18. She looks for her shot. She's got a quality to it. She's one of those finishers that if she can get more playing time and get more match fit, I think you're going to see more of her, obviously, as this season progresses, but next year. A lot of quality to this player.
It was a planned substitution for Katie Bowen there to come out and bring Kelly on. We knew, he told us we would see her. Vlatko and Donofsky said we would see Megan Kelly. She had the one goal for this FC Kansas City team in their last match at Orlando, and has been a spark off the bench. 4 goals on the season, just 3 starts.
And they need to push to get a result. Bowen's more of a box-to-box type midfielder. Megan Kelly will bring that offensive presence.
Foul called. To be fair, there was a bit of a forearm involved from Desiree Scott.
Vlatko didn't like the call. I could see his reaction from here, and looks like those two just have eyes on the ball, going for it. Alex Morgan in a better position and earns herself that call. Good work by her.
Allie Krieger up on the set piece now for Orlando. Marta winds up with it. Too strong. Vlatko and Donofsky going to his bench. Again, a little more firepower and speed. How about the fresh legs? Brittany Ratcliffe, who come in for Shea Groom, who did have the assist on Kansas City's only goal of the match.
And relatively similar players in their ability to chase a game, to to bring that pace. I like this substitution. It is an offensive one, as you said, Jen. But she's got the legs to run.
Another foul called against FC Kansas City. Krieger will play it short. Catley now the service. You can hear a pin drop here at Children's Mercy Victory Field at the moment. Crowd not liking a couple of those fouls whistled against their home team. Camilla.
And you can just see Orlando's pinned back. Everyone from FC Kansas City, even on that clearance, no one in sight to put pressure on that ball or to pick up that release outlet.
That whistle tells us that our hydration break is upon us. Still a tie game in Kansas City. We'll take a break as well and be right back. The former Florida State All-American Tony Presley checking in, replacing Chioma Ubogagu for Orlando. 1-1 our score between these two teams, and both of them had a chance during that hydration break to talk about just exactly what they want to do with the remaining minutes of this match. We'll get it down to Dallin in just a moment to hear what he heard down on the sidelines. And Dallin is just free kick and set up. Why don't you tell us what you heard?
Thanks, Jen. They're going to change their system, Orlando is. They're going to go into a 3-4-3 with three center backs. The wide midfielders, Catley and Camilla. That's where he wants to get the width from. He wants Marta and Hill to tuck inside. They don't want to be too wide. He did say there's two dangers. He was very clear, Tom was to his team. Don't get caught on the counter. Secondly, don't give up any dumb turnovers. They have to be smart, those three center backs. Think defensively first.
Great stuff, Dallin. Thank you.
An interesting decision. I like it. As much as it is offensive to go with that three front, you see Hill get down that flank there. It gives them a defensive ability to press the ball with those three fronts, which they've been playmaking out of that back very well. So we'll see if it stifles any of that attack FC Kansas City's been able to generate.
We could hear a little bit of the huddle as well, and you could hear Allie Krieger, Ashlyn Harris, Alex Morgan all speaking up. You don't think these couple of extra points matter? At this point in the season, you better believe they do.
Well, certainly with Portland leading Seattle right now as well. Could be a 6-point shift.
Portland currently with 34 points behind North Carolina at 39. If the Thorns can pick up those three against Seattle, that would pull them within 2 of the league leaders, the Courage, who are going to have to wait at least until Wednesday before they can see some action after their game tomorrow is postponed at Houston.
But it also gives Orlando some separation from Seattle, whether it be 1 or 3 points if they can get a result today.
Should be a lot of fun to watch this league finish up to the finish as we head toward October and the playoffs. Kennedy. It's after the hydration break in the first half that FC Kansas City really turned the tide, and Tom Sermanni even telling Dallin at halftime he felt his team came out a little sluggish after the break. We'll see if maybe this formation change can fire them up a little bit.
But this half, up to this point, has been really mostly Orlando dictating play, getting in that attacking third. Just a few glimpses from FCKC.
Brittany Ratcliffe, player who brings a lot of pace, as you said, into the match. Moros, the cross. Megan Kelly got to it. Labonta now. She goes down. Will FC Kansas City get its first PK? Not that time. They're the only team in the league not to have even attempted a penalty kick this season. Should this have been one? Let's see.
We'll get a glimpse. I mean, it's a hopeful lofted ball played in. Megan Kelly challenges for the first, and then Kennedy comes in from behind. It looks like she gets Labonta on that.
Fair to say you wouldn't have argued if the whistle had blown.
I would not have, and especially coming in from behind on that one. I don't know if Labonta, you know, she could take that cleaner force the issue a bit, but as it stands, it doesn't matter what we think.
Marta and Hill adding a little pressure. Kennedy wanting to switch the field. One of the things Tom Sermanni talked to his team about at halftime. Using their possession, using their passing. Camilla will stay on top of Averbush. Gibbons back to Yale Averbush.
And you can just tell there's an added sense of urgency to this game. The tempo is picked up, more direct play being had from both sides.
Nice touch from LaRue for Ratcliffe. Krieger, no whistle, the ball just sitting there for the taking. Orlando happy to take it over. Step in from Monica. After the hydration break, Orlando switching formations, going to three in the back. Here's Kennedy. Steph Catley to Marta. Morgan cutting through the area. Catley. Orlando just not able to make anything happen. Bit of an awkward attempted clearance. Winds up going to Barnhart. Orlando got on the board first in this matchup in the 16th minute. Chioma Ubogagu, after what started as a corner kick for the Pride, turned into a goal for Ubogagu. Then Lo Labonta equalizing. FC Kansas City really fighting for its playoff life here at home. They have several home games here at Children's Mercy Victory Field to finish out their season.
And you can just see them trying to push for this result. It's difficult to get a sense right now of whether it's the 3-4-3 that has changed things up and opened up this game, or whether it's just the tempo right now has been raised by both sides. But Kansas City's looking more dangerous regardless out of that water break. And here's a look. You've got Camilla pinned to that flank side. No need to foul. You've got three Kansas City players there. And that ref on the sideline there is standing, has a clear view of it.
Now this sets up a couple of Brazilians for Orlando with Camilla and Marta over the ball. It'll be Marta driving, deflected. Morgan has a goal. Alex Morgan with her 7th goal in the last 5 games.
Well, Tom Sermanni talked about not giving up any silly fouls to cause goals. Well, they come down the other end, and Kansas City does just that. They give Orlando this gift on the flank. Alex Morgan, beautiful flick on it. Looks like she's all alone, cutting into that near post. And it just happens so quickly that Barnhart can't make a play on it. Goes right through her hands. That little ball driven in by Marta near post with that bend on it. The near post runner and Alex Morgan all scripted beautifully, but I go back to the silly foul conceded by Kansas City. You've got 3 players on one, pinned against the sideline. You cannot foul in that situation.
Allie, the teams in this league will absolutely punish one another for fouls like that, and Orlando taking the lead as a result.
Oh, you're exactly right, and I misspoke about it. Tom Sermanni was saying, just don't give away anything silly to the opponent. Don't be caught on the break, and that's a silly foul conceded by Kansas City. Opposite team wasn't clued in on it.
Does FC Kansas City have a response? Ratcliffe gets a shot! Boy, she had a look at it.
And this is where that leadership comes into play, as you see Ashlyn Harris sit on it. She said these young players need to know how to see a game out, how to manage. Well, right now they're up 2-1. Everything has to be played safely, whether it's hold it in the corners. Your default is to go long with it.
Bending ball from Taylor, winds up toward LaRue. She and Krieger up in the air for it. Sydney LaRue going to the ground, trying to keep it in this attacking third for FC Kansas City. LaRue. Kelly is there, as is Labonta. Labonta going in behind. Again, no whistle from our referee, Danielle Chesky.
She's just not buying what Kansas City is selling today, that is for sure. Chance is coming right now for Kansas City. Ali Krieger gets the ball first. Labonta second. I think that's a right no call. And Kansas City really pushing now.
Yeah, I mean, you credit Krieger because it was a tough angle for her there, but you're right, she got in there, got the ball with her first touch.
Timing had to be spot on, and she got it right.
Ali Krieger, of course, one of the biggest trades in the offseason, coming over from Washington to this Orlando team.
She was disappointed at the time. I don't know if there's anyone more happy now.
Will be a corner kick for FC Kansas City. Tony Presley, second half substitution, couldn't clear it initially. Scott trying to keep hope alive for her team. Foul against Kelly, and FC Kansas City will be a free kick for Orlando.
Blanco has not been happy with a lot of the calls today. Here you see Megan Kelly just going up with Ali Krieger. I don't know if I call that.
It often looks and sounds worse when it's the home team that's not getting the call, because the crowd obviously wants the whistle.
And doing the right thing right now, Kansas City, trying to get those attacking players into the match, trying to lump it forward. And they're really putting pressure on Orlando, hoping they make a mistake to at least pull a point out of this one, perhaps more.
I thought Lo Labonta was fantastic, though, in this match. As she comes out, she scored FC Kansas City's only goal so far in the 42nd minute. Alexa Newfield, the second-year player, coming on. Barnhart will clear this one up the field.
No, you're right, Jen. Lo Labonta was great. And it wasn't just what you saw offensively with setting play. It was the defensive bite that she brought to the matchup, just forcing turnovers in center park. Both these teams have been very difficult to break down centrally when they are getting the numbers there.
7 minutes of stoppage time added on. Could feel like an eternity on a hot day. Here's Newfield, who just came into the match. Krieger shoos the ball out of bounds. Ratcliffe. Cut back is blocked. Gibbons. Sauerbrunn. The service. Falls to Ratcliffe. Sydney LaRue will take her time. Nice move from LaRue. The ball through. And just missing that far post.
And this is so good by Kansas City. I mean, they're pressing and pressing. LaRue finds some space on that left side, takes her player, leaves her in her dust, and then cuts it back to the right spot, making Kelly's the one on it, trying to redirect that far post.
FC Kansas City really applying some pressure, is going to force Orlando to figure out how to hang on to this match. At the moment, Alex Morgan's goal in the 87th minute, the difference. Morgan has now scored in 5 straight matches. The NWSL record is 6 straight matches. Kim Little did that. She was playing for Seattle.
And that's what great goal scorers do. I mean, not a lot of action today, not a lot of positive involvement, but how about a goal? That changes everything. Keeps her confidence going and keeps this team rolling as of now, at least.
And our excellent researcher, Jen Cooper, who, by the way, we wish the very best, hope she's doing well in Houston, will tell me Abby Wambach also had a stretch of 6 consecutive games with a goal, just to be thorough there. Pretty good company for Alex Morgan.
With the way that Pride seems to be attacking, I don't know if it's going to slow down anytime soon.
The team on the attack at the moment, though, FC Kansas City, they have everybody up at the moment. Scott catches it out to Moros. What will Sauerbrunn decide? She'll play it into the area. Ratcliffe had it at her feet. Kelly, former Marquette Golden Eagle, will earn a corner kick for her team.
And usually I would say those direct balls over the top don't spell much success, but Kansas City has been having a ton of success in this last 5 minutes, just lumping it into that central area. Orlando's having trouble clearing it.
Alexa Newfield will hustle over to take it. Drives it right across the mouth of the goal. Sauerbrunn, LaRue. FC Kansas City giving all it has right now, just not getting that final touch on the frame.
A lot of pressure being put on Ashlyn Harris, the wise vet, will take her time on this, try to settle her team down. When that panic creeps in, you're sensing it from Orlando. You need some of those vets to take the sting out of the game.
Both teams came in with a 3-match winning streak on the line. At the moment, it is Orlando looking to extend that streak. It was all tied up 1 apiece until the 87th minute when Alex Morgan, just a beautiful touch, finding a way to get it into the back of the net off a free kick.
Alex Morgan say, "Are you kidding me?" Hard to see what that call was about.
Final couple minutes we anticipate of the 7 minutes added on. LaRue, the Blues fast and furious here. Oh, it's a deflection. Catley holding her breath on that ball as it bent away from her and out of bounds.
And a nice little ball here from Newfield to bend that around the back line. A few Orlando players have a go at it and don't connect. Catley lucky to see that one run out over the end line.
Corner kick number 4 for FC Kansas City. Third of the second half. Newfield takes it again, drives it. One in the air by Orlando and Morgan. Christina Gibbons, the rookie, laying it across Haverbush. Couldn't get a ton onto it. LaRue has been running all game long, wins that ball, keeps it in, still in the area. Moros has a shot at it. Taylor, excuse me. That was Brittany Taylor in there for FC Kansas City.
And the chances are just raining in right now for Kansas City. They just can't connect.
Remember, Allie, in the first half, it was 3 straight corner kicks for Orlando that resulted in their goal. Will FC Kansas City be rewarded? Sauerbrunn to the second ball. Scott. The ball holds up for Moros. Headed out, and another corner kick coming. This could be the last chance for FC Kansas City. They play it short. Gibbons. Now Scott. Sauerbrunn. Not the ball she was looking for.
And And I don't know why they don't lump that in there from the corner flag initially. Give yourselves a chance to win this game.
Well, they had created some chaos off the corner kicks previously. 3 or 4 that happened there for FC Kansas City in those last few minutes as they really pushed to try to get this one. But in the end, it is Orlando who picks up their 4th straight win. They're on a 5-match unbeaten streak. And they pull to 32 points, still 2 behind Portland.
I think this match was much tighter than we anticipated coming in. Thought Orlando was going to have the run of play. They had it more in the second half, but what a spell there at the end by Kansas City to try to draw themselves even.
Orlando finding a way to hang on, and the young lady who scored the game winner, Alex Morgan, is with Dallin.
Thanks, Jen. Alex, we'll get to your game winner in a second. First, that last 7, 8, 9 minutes was hectic. What was the conversation on the field? What were you guys talking about?
We were just trying to get it out of the box, trying to get it away from the center of the field, more to the outsides, and it was super hectic, so trying to keep it out of the goal.
4th straight win, huge game for you guys, huge win. In the past couple games, you guys have been in control of the games and scoring a lot of goals. How tough was today's game for you personally and the team?
We knew it was going to be difficult because we played Kansas City a couple weeks ago, but we knew they weren't going to be the same team. They're obviously coming off a 3-game winning streak as well. The grass was actually really dry just because they had to put a lot of sand on it to make sure it wasn't soaked. So that made it difficult. The ball was a little slower than usual, and so usually we're pinging the ball, and it was just a little slower today, a little frantic. But I'm just proud of everyone that we got the win out, even though it wasn't our best soccer.
4-1-1 in your last 6 road games. What makes this team so tough to go on the road and get results like this?
I don't know. I think the confidence is one thing, and it's just all clicking at the right time. I feel like me and Marta are finding each other pretty easily, and we're just all on the same page. It also helps to have a consistent lineup. I don't think we really had that in the first part of the season, so now we're seeing that, and I think we're getting the results.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
They are finding a way to get results, Ali, and Alex Morgan and Marta linking up in the attack.
Yeah, and today's a perfect example of when teams are peaking and things are going right for you, you get results like this. I mean, they found a way to gut it out to win. It wasn't their best performance. Alex Morgan said it. They weren't, I mean, Marta and her really didn't see much chemistry from them at all. We were touting it before the game. We saw it in other matches. It wasn't exactly there today. Wasn't a ton of space to work, but they managed the game. They got the result, and that's what you see out of some of the best teams that start to peak at the right time.
The first goal of this match came off the foot of Chioma Ubogagu, and now she's with Dallin.
Thanks, Jen. Chi, great goal early in this game, but how tough was it for you to be on the bench at the end there and watch the final few minutes of this play out?
Yeah, I was stressed. Obviously, I had confidence in my team, but watching it from that sideline was a little stressful. But I'm super happy we pulled it out.
You've continued to put your influence on this team as a second-year player and have grown into this team that's loaded with stars. Why have you been able to be so effective for this group?
I think I just try to, each day, try to do the little things right and just try to keep my confidence, be consistent, and playing with great players and having a great coaching staff. It's been really easy to, string together good performances.
Early on in the season, you guys' results were kind of up and down right now, 4 straight wins. How different is the feeling with this team, the confidence in this team in the last month or so?
Yeah, I think it's super important, and I think we're peaking and growing at the right time. We're building momentum towards playoffs, so I'm super excited. We have a few more games to, hopefully clinch a spot, and then hopefully we're playing in Orlando come the championship.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I love the humble nature there from Ubogagu. I mean, we talk about Marta, we talk about Alex Morgan, we talk about Camilla, but Ubogagu might have been the player of the match for me today from Orlando. I think just the spark that she brought, the commitment to defend, and she was one of the few players who was breaking the lines and really getting her team in the attacking third. So nice to see her evolve as a player and the humble nature coinciding with that.
And getting rewarded with a goal. Scoreless in her last 8 matches, but Chioma Ubogagu getting her team on the board. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from this one. This was where it all started for Orlando.
It did, and we said it earlier, Jen. It was against the run of play. Kansas City gets a nice job, does a nice job